When we talk about open world games, Red Dead Redemption, Skyrim, obviously Grand Theft Auto, these are the ones that come to mind. And obviously for a good reason. I mean, who wants no freedom in games when you've kind of got none of that in real world? And of course, to that end, we've got the top 20 OGs of 2025 to play on your Android and iOS. So first things first. Well, the game Aeon 2 is finally here in Korea and Taiwan. And look, it's basically what you'd expect from the Korean developers, NCSoft. It's massive, it's flashy and a little too over the top. Unreal Engine 5 gives it a insane look. Guys, maps, open fields for battles and gliding, flying, that actually feels free. There's also a ridiculous number of dungeons and progression loops, plus subscription system that, reminds you that this is still a MMO grind hard. Aeon 2 is gorgeous, sometimes a little exhausting. Feels like these developers pretty much cranked the whole thing up to 11. Just remember, the global release is in January 2026, which can't come soon enough, and you can also, of course, use a VPN and enjoy it. Coming up behind that at number 2, it is Off-Road Racing Master. If nothing else, this is a decent workout for your fingers. Look, you're not racing here. The whole game is just wrestling your truck or jeep over rocks, mods, and mountains. That makes you just question your own life choices, especially gravity. The physics actually matter. Every peel, bump, slippery patch forces you to adjust your driving. Upgrades let you tweak whatever you want, and the weather shifts really keep you on your toes. This is part realistic driving, part arcade stunt madness. 100% capable of sucking hours of your day without even knowing. Perfect if you like your off-road with a side of tension. Going down to number 3, we have one of the better recent MMORPGs that is available globally. Blue Protocol hits that little sweet spot for MMO and JRPG fans who just love character freedom. A huge open world with like an insane customization to make your avatar look exactly how you want. Combat is flashy without being overwhelming. There is 8 different classes that give enough variety to keep things sick. The world is huge, vibrant, and just packed with players, events, and dungeons, so there's always something happening. It's essentially an MMO playground dressed in anime visuals, letting you chase, loot, grind boss, or just flex your full customized hero on the go. For mobile, it's ambitious, polished, and really fun. Sword of Justice, on the other hand, is not, however, just a MMO. See, these Korean developers went on and built a Northern Dynasty open world where you're not merely even playing, you're gonna be inhabiting it. Playing this game is like wandering into a painting that kind of fights back. The guilds are like coffee shop cliques, sometimes they're helpful, sometimes annoying. NPCs do have the memory of an enemy, and choices do stick around like gum under your desk. Combat, great combat, exploration teases curiosity, it's a free-to-play game, but skill at the same time matters. And of course, not to mention, cross-platform here means you can even escape the phone and play on your desktop.
Game about a tiny spider with big dreams.
So why is this in the list? I've already talked about Webbing Journey a few days ago, but I just like to remind myself that, see, a Webbing Journey here is a kind of mobile game that just hooks you without even trying. So why not? You play as a spider, turning a house into a playground with webs, swings, and climbs, and the sandbox mechanics are the smoothest. Intuitive, letting you get creative or just mess around for fun. It's equally relaxing and engaging, like no timers, no pressure, just pure freedom. Free, offline, and polished. Just nails that old satisfying, play how you want vibe. If you're into casual creativity with a hint of adventure, this one is the easiest game you can pick up right now. Although it does actually have a premium version. Well, going down to number 6, we have the game Wilderless. Pretty sure some of you already know the game Wilderless, but this new game, Dune Barrens, is, well, it's a type of video game that proves sometimes doing nothing is exactly what kind of game you need. No enemies, no quests, no stress, just endless dunes to wander. Glide off cliffs, take photos, and the world is just quiet, empty, and strangely soothing. Perfect for when you've just had enough of mobile chaos and notifications. It's a game that doesn't demand anything from you except a $5 purchase, but lets you explore at your own pace and just exist. Minimalist, peaceful, and oddly addictive in its simplicity. I like to say that Dune Barrens here nails that whole leave me alone and look at this view vibe, and is coming from a very hard-working developer. Alright, with that being said, Spider-Fuser on the other hand is another free-to-play game that actually nails the old swing first, ask questions later, superhero fantasy on the go at its finest. Controls feel tight, swinging is fluid, pulling off stunts actually feel rewarding, the combat's fast, combos land smoothly, and every rooftop jump makes you feel like you own the place. And beyond the action, there's a surprising bit of progression, like your moves and style actually matter when the game notices when you chain tricks together. It's fun, effortless to get lost in for hours. Spider-Fuser kind of proves that a superhero experience doesn't really need a console to feel great. Horizon Steel Frontiers is, believe it or not, coming to mobile and PC and PlayStation 5. And we're all right now just, The Rock side-eye kind of memeing at it at the moment. But, Guerrilla Games and NCSoft are promising, the old usual Horizon flair with this one, techno-barbarian machines, and those fancy dodges and counters you expect from the series. But here's a real kicker. It's a MMORPG spin-off, which means your first impression is entirely based on what someone else's gameplay really looks like. We haven't touched this one yet, of course, so it could be brilliant, or it could just be a phone-friendly grind with microtransactions. Either way, lots of people are hyped right now. My suggestion is just you wait for now, until it lands. Now, OJ Life Simulator, though, is one of those games that surprises you by just being genuinely fun, despite its, premise. You're delivering food, passengers, and packages to a city that actually feels alive. Traffic, shortcuts, and crowded streets to turn everyone into a tiny puzzle of timing and choices. It's a pretty addictive game without being punishing, and the open world design gives you freedom to just experiment or grind for efficiency. Simple mechanics, surprisingly satisfying, perfect for mobile, not flashy, not complicated, just a well-crafted daily grind that makes the mundane feel like an actual skill. Well, here's some good news. A quick update for those of you already hyped. Maneater is actually coming to mobile, and it's coming out December 15 on Android and iOS. And yeah, apparently every game must end its life cycle trapped inside a touchscreen. Soon enough, you're gonna be able to play as a shark, which is honestly the most relatable protagonist we've had in years. Eat everything, upgrade aggressively, and just ruin some guy's day just because he looked edible. The gameplay is still that goofy mix of Jaws, fan service, and arcade, but now you'll be doing it on the go. Pretend you're busy while someone annoying is calling you. Dusty highways call my name with glee. If you have ever thought about living the van life, just cruising around and waking up to new views every day, well, Van Life Simulator brings that dream right into your phone. Like, imagine driving a camper that's just the whole thing, your house, where you can customize it, tackle some tough off-road terrains, and find those hidden, peaceful camping spots. The game actually really nails the freedom of life, plus you've got to manage everything from your food to water to your relationships with fellow travelers. It's got that Sims-like vibe, but with like the added bonus of great views as well.
The only way we're gonna get through this?
Gangs of Miami crime shooter is like Max Payne kind of meets Vice City, sunny, offline crime shooter where like every shot hits with purpose. You play as these two different gangsters, rising from street nobodies to like feared, eventually mafia bosses. The game is kind of like a cover-based first-person shooter, but with like a lot of freedom, intense shootouts, missions that go from bank robberies to gang wars. Each character has its own unique mechanics, and your gears level up with you. Great visuals, great boss fights, and just pure action. If you're into gritty shooter campaigns with a side of drip, this one's calling. Being in early access for over half a year now and a soft launch for a couple of months so far, Sunday City is finally out on Android and iOS, and it's definitely got some improvements. But first of all, for those of you who missed it before, this is a life sim, low poly, a little bit open world social game like The Sims, except you've got actual freedom. Maybe the other game, Second Life would have been a better example here, but whatever. You're basically here to create a virtual life and build a business empire, own a pet, make decisions, participate with other people, and that kind of game. It's free, about 2 GB in size, and of course it's playable online.
间隔的传进到车手的那个交互。
Well, with that being said, after a decade of teasers, ton of betas, and NetEase being NetEase, Racing Masters Live finally worldwide, and it's just as specific as we thought it would turn out to be. It's not your usual mobile arcade game, it's a full-blown racing sim with physics that actually make you feel like you're sliding into that hairpin, not just, tapping your screen. Unreal Engine visuals, check. Lamborghini, Porsche, all the cool toys, check. Real-world circuits that make you forget you're on a phone? Double check. Just don't expect to win races without actually knowing what you're doing in this game. This one's for people who kind of like the racing realistic and pretty detailed as well.
And he does it expertly.
Hitman Absolution has officially proved itself as the GOAT. Not some watered down port or anything like that. This is actually the full original classic rebuild from the ground up. For mobile, even better. Complete with touch controls, gamepad support, keyboard, mouse, compatibility. Yeah, Feral Interactive actually went all out with this one. If you've missed, watching Agent 47 on the go at its finest, well, now's your chance to do it on the bus. It's a premium purchase though at around $15, but honestly, it's cheaper than therapy, and twice as satisfying without being arrested. This one's basically Grand Theft Auto Mobile, but with extra caffeine and no chill. Pure crime gangster shooting drops you into a city that's just one bad decision away from total anarchy. Where you start as a broke nobody and you get to climb your way up to full-blown kingpin. Jack cars, pull off heists, survive police chases that escalate pretty fast, and rule the streets one bullet at a time. There's a full day and night cycle, tons of weapons, and a police system that actually makes you sweat, plus a controller support if you're too classy for touchscreen. It's pure crime, pure mobile chaos, and just how we like it.
Hunters know. You're in the middle of everything.
Going down to number 17, it is Wait a Hunter, Wild America. Now, this is a try and buy demo. You can also purchase a full game for about $10, but this thing is just open world hunting sim vibes straight to your phone. And it's actually legit. It's set in Pacific Northwest. It's part sim, part story, and 100% immersive. You're stalking game, analyzing blood trails, and lining up shots with real deal gear from brands like Remington and Bushnell and stuff. There's a full bullet cam, dynamic weather, and even an ecosystem that react to your hunting. You can try it. And with that being said, whether you are about ethical hunting or just want a chill nature grind with high-end ballistics, this one's kind of a sleeper hit. Coming up at number 18, we have Bus Simulator Express 2025. Basically the closest you're going to be getting to driving a bus on your phone without any hassle. You haul passengers through, busy cities, towns, construction sites. There's pits that you're gonna avoid protests and the occasional car crash, all while managing tips, Wi-Fi for the passengers and everything else. The physics actually feel decent for mobile, and weather changes make rainy streets, slightly more terrifying. You can even hop out in first-person mode to poke around the city for fun. It's a pretty good game, pretty chill simulator for anyone who's ever wanted to be mildly stressed by virtual traffic instead of, really driving a bus. Coming up behind that at number 19, we have just pure next-gen open-world racing sim that this one actually nails, freedom, realism, and deep car culture, realistic physics, highly detailed environments, and just fully customizable cars that you can tune basically every part. Suspensions to exhaust, and then the option to hit the road solo or with friends. It's got massive maps, real stations, multiplayer meetups, and just a ton of race modes. Offline mode included, of course, delivers good animations, upgrades, and just basically every detail is decent. It's also got cross-platform support, and it's available now on Android and iOS. Free for about 1.5 gigabytes in size. Urban Food Delivery, on the other hand, is another free-to-play offline game which actually kind of nails the old classic one more delivery loop that's actually addictive on simulation games. You start small with a cheap bike, you got low tips, but before long, you're slicing through city traffic like a pro. Everyone's about beating the clock, finding, better routes and keeping the food hot. This game's all about speed and efficiency basically, and there's strategy as well. You can upgrade your ride, manage time, and just stay sharp through busy times and intersections. It's a pretty simple game, definitely satisfying. City is alive, the controls are tight enough to make you enjoy it, and for anyone who likes that grind meets skill balance, this one's worth the time.
Hello, old friend. It's been a long time.
I'm pretty sure some of you know about this one already, but as of today, Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming to mobile, and Rockstar finally came out with the official mobile port, and Netflix users get it for free. I mean, look, this game coming to mobile feels like one of those jokes we all made like a couple decades ago that somehow finally became real. Yet, here we are. Which is hilarious considering people paid like $70 for worst ports to mobile this year. But with that being said, what really matters is it's the same classic John Marston cleaning up the mess he helped create, shooting out bandits who all look like they just share one brain cell. It's the original game with the addition of Undead Nightmare down the line. Mobile gaming just got way more interesting, and starting December 2, when Red Dead Redemption Mobile comes out, it's gonna hit even higher.